Hello, everybody. I am calling this meeting to order currently. The time is 2:12. And before we start, we have to do our territorial acknowledgement. First and foremost, we respectfully acknowledge that the SFSS as an institution is located on the traditional unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including the Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, Coquitlam, and Kitsi nations. And unceded means that these territories have never been handed over, sold, or given up by these nations, and we're currently situated on occupied territories. And first, we have to now go through the roll call of attendance. So I'll say my name, I'll say the position, and then you say your name and your pronouns. Your pronouns is what you self-identify with. So him, his, is mine. And access needs is anything that we can do as a whole to make you feel more comfortable as a whole, as a group, to make you feel more comfortable in this space. So we'll go with the agenda. So VP external.
Jasdeep Gill, my pronouns are she, her, hers, my access needs are met.
VP finance.
Hi, I'm Tawanda, VP Finance, pronouns he, him, his, and all my access needs met.
We have student services. VP student services.
Yeah, Christina Litzik, she, her, hers, all my access needs are met.
VP student life are here today. Are you here, VP student life? No? Okay, cool. VP university. Shannon are here. Okay, do we have quorum with the execs? Do we have 4 execs? 1, Jasdeep, Christina, and Nigel. Okay, cool. At large, 1, Manit is in regrets. No. Okay. We have at large 2. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Is Rehan here? No. Oh, sorry. Okay, cool. You're here. Oh, don't I see it in the list? It's not letting me unmute. Okay, cool. That's fine. Just type. Then we have applied science.
Hi, Nick Chubb, he, him, his, and all my access needs are met.
We have arts and social science.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, she, her, hers, and all my access needs are met.
Then we have business. We have business. Andrew Wang. Andrew Wang is here. Andrew, what's happening? Weird. What does it say when you try to unmute? Is it me? That's weird. Can't find your mic. Oh, cool. Communications, arts, and technology is going to be late today, I think. But she's in the regrets, but she's coming. Environment. No, education, sorry.
Hi, my name is Emerly, she, her, hers, and all my access needs are met.
Okay, we have environment.
Hi, my name's Julian. He, him, his, all my access needs are met.
Okay, sweet. And then we have health science.
Hi, everyone. My name is Asab. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and all my access needs have been met.
Okay, and then we have science.
My name is Simran. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and my access needs are met.
Then we have society staff, campaigns, research, and policy coordinator.
Hi, it's Sarah. She, her, and hers, and all my access needs have been met.
The ED.
Sylvia, she, her, hers, access needs are met, but could you all kindly enunciate so that I'm able to understand? Thank you.
Janika,
The admin assistant.
Janika, she, her, hers, and all my access needs are met.
Sweet. Well, the admin assistant.
Christine, she, her, hers, and all my access needs are met.
Sweet. So we also have guests today. So we have the Peak. Can okay, the Peak is here. Hi, the Peak. Gurpreet is in the call, and then we have the Council and Board Liaison.
Hi, this is Ryan Van Sickle filling in for Zaina. My pronouns are he, him, his. All my needs are met.
Hi, Ryan. And we have the Council Chair.
Hi, everyone. My name is Gabe. I am the Council Chair. My pronouns are he, him, his, and my access needs are met.
Okay, sweet. Thank you.
Also, I'm Michelle. I'm here from the Peak.
Oh, hi, Michelle. Okay, cool. I see both of you. Okay, sweet. All right. Thank you, everybody. I know that there are other guests here, so councilors, other guests. Thank you for participating or just being here today. I see Premier and some other persons who are also here, maybe to support motions and so on. So thank you. Regrets from Fiona as well as Jessica today. So, and the one from Fiona is already ratified from beforehand. Okay, so we will go into ratification of regrets. I believe the other persons have not. Let me just double check, but I don't believe I've gotten any, and I did not communicate otherwise with Kristen, so they're not on the agenda. Okay, cool. Be resolved to ratify. So we have motion 4.1. Be resolved to ratify regrets from Jessica. May I have a mover for the motion? Just unmute and say your name.
Nick.
Nick, thank you. Any seconder? Can I have a seconder for the motion?
Julian.
Julian seconds. So Nick moves, Julian seconds. So basically Jessica said she couldn't make it at this time because she had a conflicting appointment. So with that being said, I'll go straight into the vote. Seeking unanimous consent on the motion. If there's any opposition to this, please unmute or show otherwise. And with that, seeing none, the motion is carried. So we'll move on to motion 5, adoption of the agenda. So be resolved to adopt the agenda as presented. Can I have a mover? Can I have a mover, please?
Emily.
Emily moves. Can I have a seconder?
Julian.
Julian seconds. So I will move. Do we have any amendments for discussion? Do we have any amendments for these? Can we have a mover to move a list of amendments?
I'd like to add 2 amendments.
Okay. Can I have a seconder to start amending the agenda? Or we just give the list straight off? Hello. Can I have a seconder?
I can second it.
Who's that? Julian. So also moves the amendment to the agenda second, Julian. Okay, can just give the whole list, call for amendments. Also.
Do you want me to read them out?
Yeah.
Okay. First one is whereas the SFSS has been in consultation for a bylaw review, and an additional review session for the incoming board would be beneficial. Be it resolved to approve $300 for an additional bylaw review presentation related to the ongoing bylaw review project. And then the second motion that I've put forward is whereas the SFU C19 Coalition is a group of grassroots students and workers organizing across SFU to advocate for the financial and academic well-being of students during the COVID-19 crisis. Be it resolved that the SFSS formally endorse the SFU C19 Coalition and support the coalition in online actions such as petitions, email campaigns, and other similar actions where necessary. I sent the relevant links out via email, and I also sent both these links, both these motions via email as well in the call to and an item thread.
Sweet, thanks. May I have any other amendments to the agenda? Is there any other amendments to the agenda?
Hi, Gio.
Hello,
Gabe. I just wanted to say I don't think there are any substantive updates from the council, so I would suggest removing Section 7 report from council liaison from the agenda.
Okay, cool. What? That's so rude. My landlord joke. Anyway, sorry. Okay, cool. Strike section report from council. Okay, that seems fine as well. Is there any other? Is there any other? I. Is there any other amendments to the agenda? Sorry, I'm a bit thrown out. I'm just turning off my camera. Is there any other amendments to the agenda? Okay, seeing none. Okay, so those three, 1, 2. So those two are new business also under new business, and then the striking is just a striking from the agenda as a whole. Okay, seeing no more discussion or no more amendments, we will move to a vote on these amendments. So be it resolved to amend the agenda to include these three: 1, new business; 2, new business; and 3, strike section report from council. We'll move it to a vote. All in favor, seeking unanimous consent on the motion. If you're in opposition to this, please unmute. Seeing none, the motion is carried. And then we're back to the main motion. Seeking unanimous consent on the main motion, be resolved to adopt the agenda as amended. Seeing none. Moving to a vote. Seeking unanimous consent on the motion, seeing no opposition, and the motion is carried. Cool. Now we go on to approval of the minutes. The minutes have been circulated. I have approved it conditionally on the approval, contingent on the approval of the board. Board minutes be resolved to receive and file the following minutes. Board of Directors 2020-04-22. May I have a mover for that motion? Also moves. Any seconder?
Nick.
Nick seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none, move to a vote. Seeking unanimous consent on this vote. If there is any opposition, please unmute. Seeing none, the motion is carried. So, motion carried. So we move to motion 7, which is old business. And this is 7.1 is Surge Hackathon. And the motion is be resolved that we grant 20,000 to Surface a Few Search for their Storm Hacks Hackathon. We have a mover for the motion.
Nick.
Nick moves. Can you seconder?
Jennifer.
Jennifer seconds. Okay, move to discussion. Just add to the speaker list, just type that you want to speak and I'll call the name, or you can just, if there's not much conversation, I guess you can just start speaking. Anybody who wants to speak on this matter?
Yeah, I'll say a few words.
Nick, cool.
Yeah.
Nick.
So I just sent an email out to the board members with the revised budget for the event. And if you have a minute to check that out. And then Serge is here to, I think they wanted to say something, so if I could give them speaking rights.
Yes,
this
I
motion.
believe, okay. I believe you did send a request for them to speak.
I did,
on
yeah.
behalf, so they do have the ability to speak on the motion.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give them a couple minutes, but let's if the board is agreeable, we have them speak now. Sweet. Okay. Serge.
Hello. Thank you again to the board for having us. Yeah, we didn't have too much to say. We just wanted to give you guys a really quick rundown and some updates since the last time we spoke with you all and gave you guys a pitch. So since then, we've had a chance to sort of revisit and rework our hackathon and our budget a little bit, as well as the structure of the hack. And we have some changes that we'd like to make you guys aware of. So some of the biggest budget cuts, one of the biggest changes we've made is budget cuts, which solves a problem of the hackathon being just a little bit too ambitious, given that it's the first run of the hack, and it doesn't have to be. We don't necessarily need all the bells and whistles, and so That's one of the biggest changes we've made. The other big change we've made is a size change of the actual participants. So initially we had called for 400 participants, and we are now changing that to 300 participants because it's more manageable, not only venue-wise and logistics-wise, but also cost-wise. So that solves the problem of the cost and of the hackathon not being within our capacity and our resources. And the last large change that we've made that I think is possibly the most significant is that we've changed the date. So we pitched to the board a date of November last time we came. Given COVID and all of the implications that has for attendance as well as sponsorships, we have changed that date to early next, so spring 2021, potentially a March date. Maybe even in April, but that's not set in stone yet. We just know we're aiming for spring 2021, either March or April. The reason for that is we've heard that the fall semester might potentially be going online, which just would not be good for the hackathon. And also we're not sure how feelings will be given, this is a huge event, and I don't know if the public is willing to attend at that point, given the current situation, as well as we don't know if companies are in a good financial spot to sponsor, or even if they're willing to sponsor an event at this time. I kind of would like to segue into a little bit of a blurb on sponsorships, or actually, if it's fine, I'd like to give Pranir the floor to speak a little bit to sponsorships.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Hi, yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, we just wanted to clear up some of the role that sponsorships play in the hackathon. So for us, sponsorships, they're a vital aspect for any hackathon to attract participants. Students come for many reasons, but a key reason is sponsorship. Like essentially, if students are coming to learn new technologies, or even if they're mastering these skills, we need sponsors there because they're experts at these technologies, and they're there to offer them for us to use during the hackathon. Also, if students are there to build a portfolio for co-op, internships, and jobs, and seek recruitment opportunities, that directly correlates with sponsors. So regardless of if sponsors are there to finance us or not, we would still need to seek them nonetheless for the hackathon. The challenge that we're having right now is because this hackathon is super new and we're a new club. This is our first time throwing this hackathon, and we don't really have the track record compared to other organizations that have thrown hackathons. So it's harder for us to reach out to sponsors and see them as a viable monetary aspect, but we still need them to run the hackathon. And that's why we're seeking funds from you in order to invest in this event. I'm just going to pass it back to Halal if she wants to elaborate.
Okay, carry on. Hello? Hello?
Sorry, I was muted. Thank you again, Pranir. I'd like to speak a little bit more to why hackers are so why sponsors are so important. So of course, there's a huge value to the hackers themselves. They get to use new tech, learn new tech they wouldn't have a chance to learn in any other sort of scenario. And they also get to meet companies for recruitment opportunities. It's also a huge incentive for sponsors to attend. So sponsors actually do really enjoy attending hackathons. For them, they can find talent. It's a really good way for them to teach other people how to use their tech, and just to sort of feel out the community and what the general, to find community trends around tech. So sponsors actually do love to attend hackathons. It's just, we have to kind of work with them and, be realistic about the fact that we are new and they don't know if they can pour a ton of money into a brand new hackathon. So the other thing that I kind of want to talk about, this should be more of a final note, is that StormHacks 2020, or I guess 2021, it's not a one-time event. It's an investment. So Surge is doing our best, and we're asking the SFSS this as well. If we invest in this hackathon the first time and we make it run smoothly and we make sure we focus on the hacker experience and the sponsor experience, in the following years, because this is going to be an annual event, we rely and depend way less on the SFSS in the future, because sponsors can be mainly a source of revenue, but we can't ensure that for the first year. So that's why we're calling it an investment. We need that initial push. We need that initial help to make sure we break even at the very least, so that we can continue to have this event in the future. You know, and I guess a little bit of final note is that a large-scale hackathon is super long overdue, and you know, other schools are already running it in BC, in Canada, in North America, and we would kind of we'd be raised to more of a competing level with them. It's great for publicity and for marketing for SFU as well, because we're partnering with Major League Hacking, which is a hackathon organization, and they provide a lot of marketing. For an example, one of my friends ran a hackathon in Toronto, and they put up their website. They didn't even open applications yet, and then MLH put them on their website, with MLH being Major League Hacking, and my friend's hackathon website got 900 hits in one day. So it's really good for marketing. They're also partnered with companies like Microsoft, which comes with GitHub, as well as a lot of other tech companies. And it would just widen our connections with companies, and it would offer opportunities to students and also to SFU, because it's kind of opening up the world stage for SFU. So yeah, that's kind of the final note on it, is that this is an annual event. It's going to be an investment. We're hoping that it has good long-term effects for both SFU and for the students. So thank you. That's everything on our end.
Hi, Giovanni. Can I
Sweet.
ask
Thank
that
you.
the budget
Thanks
be
for the
forwarded to
presentation.
me, please?
So,
Hello? Can you hear me?
yes, it is. It is forwarded.
Thank you. I didn't receive it.
Yeah. Nick, did you send it to all of the persons on the mailing list?
Thank you.
Also, Kristen, I'll forward that to you, and it be circulated with all the persons. Current board hangouts chat as well. But this needs to definitely be included within the minutes as well. Okay. Kristen. Is there any other discussion for the matter? Based on
We'd be happy. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Jen.
Oh, thanks. I just wanted to say I do feel a lot more comfortable now that you said that you're considering moving it to the spring semester, since we're not sure what's happening in the fall. I also like that you lowered your attendance. So it might be good for the following year, when some people who couldn't come to this one might hear about it and want to attend the next one. So.
Hi, Giovanni. Can I just make a comment which I just realized? Hello? Can anyone hear me?
I am hearing you, Sylvia, but I'm not sure we can hear Giovanni.
Okay. Hey, Giovanni, can you hear us?
He said he's having internet issues.
So maybe I will say it with the presumption that he would have allowed me to ask the question, which I forgot to ask yesterday at our meeting, and I apologize for this, but I just realized that asking this to be from the 2019-2020 budget for an event that will happen in the 2020-2021 fiscal year may be problematic.
Giovanni's asking if someone could chair the meeting. Any of the execs wants to take over?
Hello?
Yes, we're hearing you now.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Okay, sweet. Sorry about that. Sylvia, I just saw in the captions that you said that the fiscal year gap is an issue.
I don't know if it's an issue. I'm just saying that it might be problematic that the board is considering an event that's going to happen in the next fiscal year, but the money would come from this fiscal year. I didn't think of it. I didn't think of it until now. So I'm just going to.
Oh, you're just raising another point for the board to decide on.
So I'm just gonna see with Rowena, and I'll be back with information if we have some. Okay.
Okay.
Thank
I don't
you.
think that should be an issue. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Is there any discussion on the matter? Board members, can I hear a discussion? Because I do have, based on the discussion at hand, if I am thinking that this might pass as is, that I have an amendment. If there are people who are having issues with the current as it is, but if not, I guess we can go for a vote if people are agreeable, pending information. But can board members speak to the motion, please? This is a substantial amount of resources that is going to be passed, and we need to have proper discussion regarding this kind of issue. So can I have anybody that is wishing to speak on it?
I'll say a few words. So I personally have been to hackathons before, and I found that they're very helpful for myself, for meeting more people, learning more for my career, for just getting more engagement, and having a hackathon like this in the Major League Hacking ranking at SFU would be a big deal for the school. And I think as an organization, we don't necessarily put enough of our money towards academic things that help students academically, like hackathons like this, which double as not just like social events, but extremely good for your academic career too.
I see. Yeah. Cool. Can I have another speaker on the motion, please?
Giovanni, I have Rowena who's able to give information as to why we may not be able to do this.
Okay.
This fiscal year. You want to allow her to speak?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Hi. The expense can be approved or not approved as per your deliberations. However, this expense is 2021 expense, which means any expenses related to this event will be put into next year's financial statements. If this motion is passed, we can't accrue it for this year because there are no expenses in this year related to that event. And one thing the auditors look at is something called cutoff. They want to make sure that expenses that we have recorded to our financial statements relate to the year in which they are recorded. I don't know how that affects your vote today. I'm saying from a finance standpoint, if it is approved, any expense will be recorded next year.
Okay, cool. Is this the same for the next motion that we have in terms of the review session, or do the additional review session? Just as a
yes, but that amount, it's a smaller amount, so I'm not concerned about something of that size.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right, sweet. Any other discussion on the matter? So, Tawanda, I think it's not necessarily a thing about the current following year's budget. It's a more, I think what Rowena is saying is that as a accounting standpoint, it would, if we pass it today, it still would be recorded as a following year's expense.
Correct.
Just as a point of information. But the motion can still be passed, or if not passed at this board, this decision today. But you should take that into a point of consideration. That's it. But can I have other members speak to the motion as is? Because I need to make sure that I hear people's voices. Any executives?
I just want to say that I am in agreement with Nick in that I think we definitely, as an organization, can be putting a little more money towards student initiatives and student projects. And while I personally don't, I've never attended a hackathon, I can understand what the value behind it would be. I just haven't really had enough time to read through the budget again as well. I'm kind of browsing through it right now. I don't know if everyone else is kind of in the same position as me and would appreciate a little more time, because $20,000 is, as you mentioned, a lot of money. And, considering that we are predicting not quite as much of a surplus as we have previously, considering that students, the whole COVID situation, I don't know if people are comfortable voting on this, because I'm not sure if I am.
Okay. Can other board members please speak to the motion? I should not be begging for board members to speak to motions. Thanks.
I think I want to follow up by saying I'm kind of in agreement with where Asab is. I think it's a great idea. I haven't been to hackathons, but it is definitely an experience that students could gain value from. But I don't know if I'm ready to vote on it now. Also, given the new information, I don't know how it works in terms of if it's next year's spending it from this year's budget, and also I would need a little bit more time with the budget as well.
Okay. Any other board members? Echo the last statement that I made. Hello. Can I have other board members speak to the motion, please? Can I have other board members speak to the motion, please? I don't want to move to a vote without a clarity on where we stand as a board.
Hey, so I do think that this event is a good idea, but again, I think the fact that it's not happening during our board term, it would be a little premature to vote on that. Given the situation, I think it should be up to the next board's kind of decision.
Any other discussion? Any other discussion?
Yeah, if you think it should be for the next board, maybe should we table it to the next meeting then? How would that work?
Was this would for as a order question, it would just be another postponement, and then it would come as old business the next meeting again, similar to how it did this year. But I'm just what I'm comfortable with in terms of my I think speaking as a board member, I think I am in favor of approving up to 15,000 due to the fact that it's venue plus half of the food costs, and then we'll just work with them to try and get other sponsorships. But that's where I am at. But I think if people feel more comfortable with postponing, that's something that can be done as well. If that would alleviate situation. But the budget is here, and I think we do have enough information to know where we are comfortable with as a board, but that's just my opinion. So if there's anybody else that wants to speak to this motion before we move to a vote, or if somebody wants to move, you can do that at any times to postpone or whatever. But I just want to make sure that we exhaust discussion on this topic. If the board is agreeable, can Hilal speak to this? I'll assume that the board is agreeable.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course. I'd love to speak to it. Thank you all for your feedback. I mean, if anybody does have questions about the budget as it stands, I'm more than happy to share it with you all. I was thinking of going through it on Vivian's screen and kind of walking through, because some of the biggest changes we've made are around the sponsorships that we're getting, as well as food and merchandise cuts.
But the question. Okay, cool. The question is, if the group doesn't manage to get their desired funding, how else would you bridge the gap in terms of, like, I think it's based, is that question based on my comfort level at $15,000 Tawanda, or was it something else? Or is it just generally? But in any case, Hilal, that's the question that he's asking.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, no problem. So if we don't get the money so if we have any sort of, if we get less revenue than we plan, there is still room for us to cut a little bit in places. Like we can get rid of, for example, t-shirts. That buys us a lot. And we can look into other little cuts we can make in terms of prizes and AV. And there is still some room for cutting even further. That being said, though, 20,000 is a little bit large of a cut. And if the board were to, if we were to get nothing from the SFSS, we're not sure how successful this event would be, because we are not able to accrue that much from sponsorships alone. So it wouldn't, honestly, it's, of course, like a 15,000 cut is from 20,000 is not completely not doable. But like if it were a flat out $0 from the board, we would not be able to run the event, quite honestly.
Yeah. Okay. So I think if there's any more discussion, can there be more discussion? Anybody else want to speak to this?
If anybody has any questions as well about the budget, like, I'm super happy to answer them. We did our research before coming in and all that, so I'd be happy to clear up anything.
Okay. I think I want to move to do that based on just, or is there any other discussion before that happens? Is there any other discussion? Can I have the VP? Nigel, do you have anything else to say to this? Before you go, Nick, we want some other board members to get a chance to speak on this.
Yeah.
Julian, Christina spoke. Wait, what? Simran, Andrew, folks. Because at this stage, if there's no amendment or anything, it will go to a vote. Okay, Nick, you had something to say? Nick? Hello?
Oops, forgot to unmute. Question for Halal. So you're only getting 500 from the Faculty of Applied Sciences, but 7,000 from BD. Do you know why that is?
Yeah, so the 500 from the faculty is because the faculty actually has a hard cap on hackathons at this time.
Oh, okay.
So that's the 500, and the 700,000 is a projected amount that we are aiming for with BD.
Okay, yeah, that's weird, but thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, I think as a board member, I will move in light of that conversation, Hilal. I mean, the question that was answered by the representative from the group, to say that amend the motion to say up to $15,000 due to just my comfort levels regarding this, and I would be comfortable with voting in favor of that. And at this point, even with the current budget, as it covers all of the venue costs and half of the food costs. Is there any seconder? And then there can be a vote or whatever. Is there any seconder to that?
Awesome.
Or sub-seconds. And I would be comfortable. So discussion on the amendments. Yeah, this would make me feel comfortable. Can I have a discussion on the amendment? But from me, this would make me feel comfortable to vote today on this, even though it's for the next expenses. It's just that it would just be accrued in that year. But with just with the budget that's been circulated, I think the group has done a lot of work to put this together. And previous events that has been passed have not been not had like the $5,000 we passed with Fast on the Boat did not happen due to COVID and stuff like that. And I think we're in a financial position that this can actually be of benefit to the society as well. But I still, due to the fact that there is flexibility to have some cuts here and there or additional sponsorship, I think this is something that I'm comfortable with and would vote in favor of. Is there another discussion?
Yeah, I kind of just want to ask Lal actually another quick question. If it came down to it, would you rather do the 15,000 now or like wait until next board year and try for 20,000? What's your opinion?
That's a good question. It's a bit of a hard one as well, though, because I mean, I'm very grateful for anything that the board is going to send our way, obviously. And 20,000, I mean, is better than 15,000, but also, I mean, I'm also, grateful for the 15. If the following board meeting was very soon, for the next board, we would consider it, but ultimately, it's the board's decision, I think. I think that maybe this time, I think we'd prefer 15,000 right now, though. But yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Giovanni, can I ask a question?
Yes, Sylvia.
Yeah. So if the board was to pass this, obviously this is a large sum of money, and it is it would basically be a SFSS sponsored event in its totality. When would we have the discussion about how we are branding this event?
I think that would become in the follow-up conversations with you and whoever are the liaisons from the board side with the groups as well. But I think that can be a contingent within our discussion right now to have board be comfortable with passing that.
Okay, thank you.
With the uncertainty of sponsorship funds, if the group does not manage to desire how do they intend? What? No, there's a 12% included number. Isn't the tax already accounted for above expenses already? Just okay. Who can clarify that? 12% tax included.
Yeah, I can clarify that. So for the most part, I mean, it's not included. That's kind of how we created the budget, but there might be some areas where it's a little bit gray, like for example, AV, as well as the venue. We're not 100% sure. So that number is subject to change, but for the most part, it should be accurate.
Okay, sweet. Is there any other discussion on the amendment? Okay, sweet. With that being said, it seems though there be no. This is just the amendment, so let's have a vote on the amendment. I will have a. How will I do this? Does the board think that this should be a unanimous consent motion or a contested vote, a voice vote? Okay, within so we tried this the last time and there was a lot of feedback and all that. So can the people who, since it's just 16 board members, can the people who are in favor of the amendment type in favor in the board chat within the next 60 seconds? If this does not happen within the next 60 seconds, I will take it as you are abstaining from the motion. So please. So at 14:58, I will call the meeting, or just wait until I'll ask if more people want to abstain. No, this time. So this is what's the number for this motion again? 7 point. Hmm. 7.1. 7.1. So I will close the voting for this in 10 seconds. 9, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Motion. So the amendment seems to have carried with abstention. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in favor. 1, 2, 3 abstentions. No opposition. The amendment carries, and 1 abstention is noted, and that is Julian, Christine. And so this is the amendment to 7.1. Now we're back on the main motion. I will do the same if there is no more discussion. So the motion is, be it resolved that we grant, that the SFSS grants 15,000, up to 15,000 to SFU Surge for their STEM Hackathon. This is the amendment. This is the motion. 7.1 amend and carried. And then the motion now is 7.1. Resolve that we grant up to 15K. Or 15K. For SFU Sage Turn Hackathon. Okay. May I have a vote? Ending at 301. Please, all in favor and all against. And if you're abstaining, just type abstain as well. If you don't vote in the allotted time, I'll take it as you abstained. So the vote is ordered. I am in favor of the motion. Closing in 10 seconds. 10. Okay, I'm calling the vote at let me just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 in favor. And I guess the remainder is abstentions. None noted. So how many people are here? So 8. 3 said abstain. But I guess it's 4 abstentions because 1 person did not vote. The motion carries as amended. And then that's the vote tally. 8 in favor, 4 abstain. Is it 4 abstain? How many of us are at the meeting? Okay. Motion carried as amended. Is there, how many of us are at the meeting today? Can we do a quorum check? Can somebody do that for me and just type it in the group, please? Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Okay, thanks. All right, new business. So we have a motion here today. Thank you, Hila. You guys can leave if you want or stay and enjoy the rest of the meeting. I hope you have fun with the event.
Great. Thank you so much. And thank you so much to the board as well. Have a good one, everyone.
Okay, have a good one.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye. New business 9.1. Guidelines for board committees and directors using budget under departments. Be resolved to approve the guidelines for board committees and directors using budget under departments, like the guidelines. Be further resolved to amend the board policies to include the guidelines in the appendices. Can I have a move or the motion?
Move it, Julian.
Julian moves. Can I have a seconder? Nick seconds. So discussion. This is basically from the last meeting that we had, that document that we went over. I am comfortable with it. I just want to make sure that it's up. I'm happy that it's included in the appendices. Is there any other discussion on the motion? Seeing none, we move to a vote. Seeking unanimous consent on the motion. If anybody disapproves of this or is opposed, please unmute. Seeing none, the motion is carried unanimously, of course. SFSS budget 2020-21 approval. Be resolved to approve the 2020-21 budget as presented. Can I have a mover? Can I have a mover?
Emily moves.
Emily moves. Any second?
Julian will second it.
Julian seconds. Sylvia, I want to speak to this just about the small slight changes, please.
Yes, so when we presented this to the board at the last meeting on the 22nd, we, as we had said during the presentation, had put forward certain assumptions about enrollment and so on. So that was last Wednesday. I also did inform you that I would be having a conversation with Erin Biddlecombe from Student Services on the Friday, which I did. And at that time, she informed me that there was no changes to enrollment for the summer session, so that where they were when we spoke was 100% enrollment of students, and therefore we revised the budget in that sense. However, for September, because even though we did discuss that, they're not able to give me a definitive answer. They're working with 4 different scenarios as to what could happen in the fall. We kept the scenario, the assumptions that we made the same for September. So with the tweak in the positive sense for the summer and remaining the same as we had assumed in the fall, the current budgeted deficit is $332,000 rather than $552,000. That's the only change in the budget.
Okay, sweet. Thank you. Is there any other discussion on the budget? Finance Committee Chair. Okay. Seeing none. I see. What is this? I second. Oh, this was from the previous motion. If you're seconding those and typing, just type the number or the name of the motion. Yeah, so seeing more discussion on this agenda item, we will move to a vote by unanimous consent. So seeking unanimous consent on the motion, if you are opposition, please notify by unmuting. And okay, seeing none, the motion is carried. Thank you. And the presentation attached will be the new Excel sheet that was created and the document that was affixed with the assumptions that were made. Thank you, Sylvia, for those changes. Thank you for checking in with Erin and everything.
Thank you.
Motion 8.3, build SFU GM signing authority appointment. Can I have, so whereas several signing officers were appointed at the April 15 meeting of the board of directors, whereas Mark Fontaine, Build SFU General Manager, continues to sign checks from the Build SFU account on behalf of the SFSS. Be resolved that as per bylaw 6.1 powers, duties and obligations of the board of directors, Mark Fontaine, Build SFU Manager, be reappointed as signing officer effective May 1, 2020. Can I have a mover for the motion? Can I have a mover? Can I have a mover? Notify by just unmuting and saying your name, please.
Nick.
Hello, board. Can I have a mover for the motion? Nick, thanks. Can I have a seconder, please?
Emily.
Thank you, Emily. Discussion. So basically this, so all checks that are currently being signed, like internal transfers with the sub and all of that, are being signed because there's a signing authority currently in this fiscal year as Mark Fontaine. So even though he's working remotely, there would still need to be signing officer for the Build SFU account to be signing, so for us to be signing checks on behalf through the Build SFU account, and is the reason why we have to have this in, and this is in consultation with Rowena and Sylvia. So this is why this motion is back on the agenda. And yeah, so any more discussion? Seeing none, we will move to a vote. I'm seeking unanimous consent on this motion. If there's nobody opposed, if you do oppose, please indicate by unmuting. Seeing none, the motion is carried unanimously, of course. So that passes as well. And 9.4, that would be, or 8.4, that would be the COVID-19 coalition endorsement. Oh, sorry, let me read it out. Whereas the SFU C19 coalition is a group of grassroots students and worker organized across SFU advocating for financial and academic well-being of students during the COVID-19 crisis, we resolve that SFSS formally endorse the SFU Co-19 coalition and support the coalition in online actions such as petition, email campaigns, and other similar actions where necessary. Here is the website. There's a website that's attached with the demands, and you can learn information. How does, I guess it can work as a part of the motion. Sarah, does that make sense? Or do we leave that second part off?
Sorry, what are you,
Hello?
what are you trying to do it?
So there's a motion, and the motion has everything, but then there's an appendix on the motion that just talk about the website information. Is that fine?
Like you're saying, do you want to amend the motion to include the information?
No.
It's okay to have, you're supposed to have supporting documentation for motion. So that's perfectly fine.
But it's is it in the wording of the motion? Is it fine in the wording of the motion, or do we have to amend that, like have an attachment with it?
Sorry, I'm not understanding what you're.
Is it this document ASUB is here is the website where we can learn information. Is that a part of the motion that was?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to download. I didn't want to download off the website and send it as a PDF. So that was just to take place of a briefing note.
It doesn't have to be part of the motion as long as there's information submitted for board members to read before they make their decision.
Okay, I see. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. So my apologies. So whereas be resolved and other similar actions were necessary. So that's the motion. Can I have a mover for the motion?
Awesome.
ASUB, can I have a seconder? I will second. Discussion on the motion, Jiva. Also.
Yeah, so I hope everyone had a chance to take a look at the website links that I sent out. So essentially, SFU C19C or C19 Coalition has been a grassroots group of students who have been really paving the way for advocacy in light of what's been happening with COVID-19 and really aligning with a lot of the asks that we want potentially of the government as well. So really staying on top of things with the student benefit and potentially looking at how we can make sure that international students are being included in this and making sure that students are also getting what they need and not getting $1,200 while everyone else is getting $2,000, because a lot of the time students do have costs that need to be addressed as well that might be inflated. I think that an endorsement from the SFSS would be particularly strong because we do represent the student group on campus, over 26,000 voices. So the website pretty much says it all, and it's mostly just listing out some of the demands that we want of the university and of the federal and provincial government. So if anyone has any questions, I can answer them, but a lot of them were addressed by the website links that I sent out as well.
Sweet. And this has been something that's been working on with other organizations on campus. I would like to say that I am in full support of this as well. I think it's important that workers and students unite when it comes to issues of this, and we lend our support wherever we can. And as you know, today is the day that the debate on Bill C-15 starts. Just Deep, or VP External, has been doing a substantial amount of work working with some MPs and different parties around this matter, as well as international student support in BC itself. And I think with the current Canada Emergency Student Benefit, international students are being left out in the federal plan, even though it was available for CERB. So I think this is in line with our signing on to the Don't Forget Students letter, where they asked for students to be eligible for CERB, or if there is a CESB, that students get the same amount, which is the 2,000, and that international students and recent graduates of institutions are also included. So I think this is very much in line, and commend the work of whoever is working on this with the other parties across campus. Does anybody else have anything to speak? To say, sorry. Just the shine on here. Anybody else?
Yeah, I can add a little bit. So this is work that is kind of happening on a day-to-day basis, and it is kind of a moving topic. But in addition to the topic mentioned here, we have had the federal government, a representative, reach out trying to schedule a Zoom call for Friday or Monday, and the next board will obviously have to take that on. But we have multiple times stated that we do want international students included, and we want more done for them. They haven't responded directly, but they have said that this is a moving topic and they'll keep us informed. So I think as a new board comes in, it's a really good opportunity for them to have this turnover and to stay on top of it, because I think they are realizing that every student union is really pushing for this right now. And I think if we keep up the pressure, then I think something can be done.
All right. Does anybody else have anything to say? Thank you, Justin. Does anybody have any other discussion? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move to a vote on this motion. Seeking unanimous consent on the motion. Is there any? If there is any opposition, please unmute. And I'll take that as opposition. Seeing none, the motion carries. We have another motion, 8.4. This is another one that was amended by Awesome. Additional bylaw review session for new board. Whereas the SFSS has been in consultation for a bylaw review, and an additional review session for the incoming would be beneficial, be it resolved to approve $300 for an additional bylaw review presentation related to the ongoing bylaw review project. Can I have a mover for the motion?
Also.
Can I have a seconder? Can I have a seconder, please?
Julian.
Julian. Okay, sweet. Discussion. Folks, if you've submitted a motion, please move it so it can go faster. Cool. Discussion. What's up?
Yeah, so with this one, it's pretty self-explanatory. We've been undergoing a bylaw review project for the last few months, and we did initially pass some money for it, but Sylvia let me know that for an additional session that we would need to bring our consultant in to speak with the board, hopefully in late May to early June. It would be $300, so I'm just bringing it to the board for approval.
Sweet. Any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, and I believe that there should not be any controversy around this. I'll seek a unanimous vote on this. Seeking unanimous consent on the motion, and the motion is read above. There is whereas the SFSS has been in consultation for an additional review session for a community would be beneficial. Be resolved to approve 300 for an additional bylaw review presentation related to the ongoing bylaw review project. All in seeking unanimous consent to the motion. If there is no opposition, if there is any, please unmute your microphone, and I'll take it as a position. And seeing none, the motion is carried unanimously. Forget students and regarding CSB, or just trying to make the CERB more accessible to students, as we talked about earlier on, and this is in line with the endorsement that we just did, but there has been a considerable amount of work, and I wanted the opportunity to raise this at the board table to make sure that we are involved in this process, or taking a look at what's happening on Twitter, on Facebook, the various social media, anything that you can do to support, because I think this is very, very important that we make sure that international students and recent grads are being supported as well. So as you know, there was $9.5 billion package that includes $12.50 for students, barring students or barring international students, and $17.50 for students registered as disabled students. And this is not enough, as you know. This has been our ask, so I just wanted to flag it and make it known. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none. Thank you. But yeah, we just wanted to make sure that is done. Motion discussion item 9.2, operational reports. So I've requested operational report for the end of the term to see what work has been done over the year, and Sylvia has coordinated and submitted this to the board for review. And I just wanted to make sure that we have this captured and minuted and spoken about. So Sylvia.
I'm not sure what you would like me to speak about, but I'm very proud of the work that we have achieved as a team over the past year. Many of the highlights that you see in the 44-page report are obviously in conjunction with the board, and many of the initiatives that the board had under the strategic plan and so on. On a moving forward basis, because this year we were occupied by and preoccupied by other issues, but on a moving forward basis, this report will come to the board monthly, so that you don't have 44 pages to read in one shot, but it will be, monthly report, and it will be collated at the end of the year, so you have it all in one place. But it will be a much more nimble reporting than the one you have in front of you. So that being said, I have to say that I take my hat off to all of you who have served on the board and who have done such an amazing job. And I take my hat off to the entire SFSS team and staff for all the great work that they've done supporting your vision. I can't hear Giovanni anymore, or anyone for that matter.
I can't hear anyone either, but I'm hearing you.
Okay.
Giovanni's asking for somebody to take over the meeting by consent. Is somebody else going to chair the meeting in his absence? Are you all there?
I am here.
Okay, do you want to chair the meeting?
Christina said she can.
Okay, go ahead, Christina.
All right. All right, that was me and Julian right next to each other. Right. Were there any other amendments that I needed to, or which did he complete the? Which item? Sorry, I lost track. Unless. Oh, okay, yeah, discussion. Which one?
We're at guest question and answer.
Okay, perfect. Okay, guest Q&As then. Any questions from anyone? Maybe from the peak?
No, I don't have any questions at the moment.
Okay.
Christina, I have something to share with the board if you'll allow me.
Yeah, go ahead. Doesn't look like there's anyone coming up with any questions.
Okay, so I just wanted to let you know that since you voted the money for the FIC students, I've been in touch with the FIC executive director, and we've been going back and forth looking at potential terms of reference for how the money is going to be managed and how we are going to report on it. And the last conversation I had with her was last Friday, and I've been waiting since to hear back from her. I did follow up yesterday to find out if she had the proposed terms of reference, which she proposed to draft. And I haven't heard, so I'm just letting you know that currently it seems as though FIC has sufficient funds in reserve to be helping the students, and that our funding will come in as a second wave, and that will be more around mid-May. So just to report that I have that on the go, and that I am following up very closely, so that if any students ask you, you can report that, you know, we have it on hand. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you for letting us know. Any other questions? Okay, then if there's nothing else to add, we can move for adjournment. Be it resolved to adjourn the meeting at 3:27 p.m. Can I have a mover?
I'll move.
Was that Emily?
Jasdeep.
Oh, Jasdeep. Okay. Can I have a seconder?
Nick.
Thank you, Nick. All those in favor, so going for unanimous consent. If you're not in favor, just unmute your mic. Okay. Everyone seems okay with it. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Good luck
Thank
with
you.
your endeavors.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Huh?